We're joined from South London by Labour's Shadow Communities Secretary, Steve Reid. Mr Reid, lovely to have you on the programme this morning. You will be as aware as any of us about the state of these Brexit negotiations. Labour Party must be loving the prospect that there'll be a no deal at the end of all of this. Once again, you wouldn't have to tell us exactly what kind of deal you'd want to sign up to.
Well, the last thing we need is no deal in these circumstances. It's 1 year and 1 day exactly since Boris Johnson won an 80-seat majority in the House of Commons, promising to get Brexit done with an oven-ready Brexit deal that he had ready to agree with the European Union. Now, we're right at the 11th hour now, aren't we? The deal is not yet done. It needs to be got over the line because we cannot tolerate in this country the damage that a no-deal Brexit would do, and nor can we tolerate the uncertainty that a no-deal Brexit would do. One of the reasons people voted to get Brexit done was they've had enough of 4.5 years of going round and round in circles over Brexit. They want this ended. They want confidence and security that we can move our country forwards. A no-deal Brexit would simply mean the negotiations restarted again next month. Only Britain would be in a far weaker position. So Boris Johnson needs to now do what he told the country a year ago he was ready to do and get Brexit done.
Sure, but you're not telling me that the Labour Party, led by Sir Keir Starmer, a lawyer, of course, would ever sign up to a deal in which the European Union could unilaterally introduce tariffs on our products by their determination that we have deviated from the standards that they set. You can't tell me that Sir Keir would sign up to that one.
Well, the situation we're facing now is that Boris Johnson, claiming to have 98% of this deal done now, just 2% of it less to go. It must be possible to find a way to bridge that remaining 2%. But one of the sticking points seems to be Boris Johnson wanting the powers to do something he claims he doesn't want to do anyway, which makes the whole thing more surreal. You know, he's arguing for the powers to water down employment rights and environmental standards. Now, Labour doesn't want to see that happen. The country doesn't want to see that happen. So there is a deal to be done here. As one of your earlier interviewees was saying, economies are interdependent these days. We have to take shared decisions if we're going to trade with each other. And taking a shared decision is not a breach of sovereignty, it's exercising sovereignty. We have to get this deal over the line. We have to complete the remaining 2% if that's all that remains to be done. And we need to get this deal done so that the British economy and the British people, after 4 years of uncertainty, can move forwards.
Sure, but there is clearly, though, a difference between the interdependence, as described by the Spanish Foreign Minister, and the idea that's being pushed by this government, which, you know, if we accept the deal that is on the table, we would be supplicants to the European Union.
I don't think that's true. This is about taking shared decisions. Now, Boris Johnson is arguing at this very late stage that he wants the powers to water down employment rights and reduce environmental standards and environmental protections. These are things he claims he doesn't want to do anyway, so it shouldn't really be a sticking point. There's a deal to be done. If what the European Union wants to achieve and what the British government wants to achieve are the same, which is what they are both saying, then this is a surreal position we've got ourselves in, where he is preparing, Boris Johnson is preparing, if he breaks his promise to get Brexit done and deliver a Brexit deal, he's preparing to sacrifice the British economy over something he doesn't even want to do. It's just crazy.
Sure, but again, there is a difference, isn't there, between, you know, a relationship with the European Union that grows and evolves and a relationship in which we are dictated to from Brussels in terms of standards. I mean, can you honestly tell the 17.5 million people who voted for Brexit that we will be leaving the European Union if, in perpetuity, we have to stick to their definition of what standards are rather than being able to decide upon it ourselves?
It would be a shared decision, and I don't think for a minute people that voted for Brexit in doing so, thought they were going to lower their own employment rights or lose their own chance of a decent and well-paid job. People voted for Brexit because they thought it was going to be better for the country and better for the economy. Now, we need this deal over the line now. This final sticking point over something that the Prime Minister says he doesn't even want to do anyway seems to me absolutely surreal. There's a deal to be done. It needs to be done today. We could just be hours away from it. Let's just end the uncertainty of the last 4.5 years and move forwards with a relationship with our biggest trading partner in the world, the European Union, that will benefit all of us.
Sure, but what then would Labour do differently? What concessions would Labour make in all of this to get a deal done? Take fishing. How many years would you allow European Union trawlers in our waters?
Well, it was Boris Johnson that said he had an oven-ready deal. It wasn't the Labour Party that said we had an oven-ready deal.
Well, we also know that he was dealing with the withdrawal agreement on that.
He's had 12 months to get this over the line, and it's still not over the line. He promised the British people, he was so confident in his deal, he said he didn't even need to do any planning for a no-deal circumstances because it wasn't going to happen because he had a deal ready to go. He said he had a deal, not Labour. Let's see that deal, let's get it over the line, and let's all move on together.
Mr Reid, whilst we have you, we really should dwell on COVID-19 and, of course, Christmas very much in all of our minds at the moment. I just wonder whether or not you feel that it would be wrong to relax restrictions for that 5-day Christmas period, given the numbers that we are seeing from various parts of the country, including London, in terms of infection.
Well, you know, people have had a very difficult year, nine months where people haven't been able to go to work properly, see their families properly. People are looking forward to Christmas. It's not going to be a normal Christmas, of course. And the rise that we're seeing, well, the reported rise in infection rates in many areas under Tier 2, actually, it's half of them, it's not just London, is very, very worrying. Now, we'll get an assessment based on the data on the 16th of this month, and we'll need to see where we are then. But the key thing is we need to follow the science, and we need to do everything we can to keep people safe. So the situation will be under review until we understand from the science what is driving the increase in infection rates and what can be done to manage that. I mean, the key thing is all of us need to do whatever we can to follow the rules and the guidelines to stop the infection rate growing. But until we understand what's causing that, it's very difficult to say what we should do as a result of that. But we should be only days away from finding that out.
Yeah, we should indeed. Steve Reid, lovely to see you this morning. Merry Christmas when it comes.
And to you.